Once again, a nice good evening to each one of you.
Good evening.
The AC is right on temperature, so now hopefully we are all comfortable. So, what did we have today? Today we had samosas, chais, nice chai by the way. But at the end of the day, more importantly, as is more essential for any Toastmasters meeting, we had a real value added session today. So a big round of applause to each one of you here at ICTC for putting this all together. Special thanks to the XCOM for making sure that all aspects are put in place, beginning with the wonderful agenda, the ambient place, the amazing camaraderie. In fact, it was such a wonderful experience the moment you walked in and you see happy faces, people actually happy to see you and not nervous about doing their own roles. So this is what sets apart a club. Today especially, I could sense the cerebral level was really top notch, including all the role players, the speeches, the TMOD, and last but not least, the education session. So let's go sequentially. What went well? Is there any gaps which we could probably address? And finally, summarize it. To begin with, we had the first role player, that is the Sergeant at Arms. Today we had Toastmaster Rajeshwari, who steps in as the Sergeant at Arms. 5 minutes behind schedule, but there, because we had some challenges with certain AV aspects, but on time, Toastmaster Rajeshwari steps in and begins the proceedings. After she do it, I love the innovative way in which she addressed the ground rules, the taboo topics, and the other paraphernalia using a authentic or an imaginary tale of a guest who has or who is yet to turn up. But I love that approach because that kept us invested in a story. So wonderfully done, at the same time ticking all the boxes. Also, the introduction of the next player, who's of course the most important person from a club perspective, that's the president. She introduced the president in a rightful flair and then invited the club president, Madam Toastmaster Nimisha. Well done, Sergeant Arms. In comes the humane Madam President Toastmaster Nimisha, who's wearing a festive look. At the same time, she made a strong connection between the roots, values, and the importance of connecting. So that was a very heartfelt speech, which actually set the tone for the whole meeting. I love the way she presented it. At the same time, she made sure all the other boxes are ticked from the Toastmaster presentation deck and the club accolades, which you could see that sense of pride when she was presenting all the accomplishments. And the most impressive factor, the look ahead. Very few club presidents do that. Look ahead. It sets a tone for what's yet to come. So this is very efficiently done in a very effective way. Love the way she did it and her natural stance as someone who's leading the club. So nicely done, Madam President, Toastmaster Nimisha. Nice. And then again, the last bit for any role player to introduce the next role player. It was again impeccably done, since we had a brand new Toastmaster who's brave enough to take up this role. We had Toastmaster Santosh, who stepped in to a role of Toastmaster of the day, but never ever let us feel that this is the first time he's doing it. Maybe in some places, but we'll come to that just for a while. What did Toastmaster Santosh do as a Toastmaster of the day? Came up with a very engaging theme and a clever wordplay which actually helps us connect. It makes it memorable. Authentic information, artificial intelligence. I'm sure we all have begun to use it as artificial intelligence. So the moment this term authentic came into play, we are forced, or Toastmaster of the day challenged us to start considering it in a different perspective. So this is a very beautiful way of how you set the theme. So full marks on the theme selection, the way you could connect, and it also impressed me that he stated outset what is going to be the agenda, the theme, how are we going to address this theme, and finally also what we can have at the end, or what we can expect to have it there. So this is a very concise way of giving all the members a clear picture of what to expect. So wonderfully done. Along the way, a Toastmaster of the day has to ensure a few boxes are ticked without fail. First and foremost is introduction of the role players. Whenever we take up this role, Toastmaster of the day, goes hand in hand to reach out and get the introductions in place. So we can make the role players feel special, all pumped up, or someone said, Josh, bring in the complete Josh the moment they are on stage. So definitely it ensures they give the best. Now, few suggestions for anyone taking up this role of TMOD for the first time. Of course, all the accomplished people can carry it out easily, but someone who's taking it up for the first, observe a few meetings. Now, once we decide, okay, I'm going to take up a role, it could be anything like a timers, a grammarians, any role, observe consciously a few meetings specifically focused on that. So we can pick up all the tidbits, especially if it is not clear when the general evaluator sums it up. So all the missing gaps, everything could be identified, and that can help improve us, enhance our roles. Right? So this is a suggestion for anyone taking up the role for the first time. Be focused on that during the meetings as well. Now, one important thing the Toastmaster of the day has to ensure is to seamlessly hold everything together. That's a huge responsibility to ensure that there are no gaps. So even if the scripts are not clear, maybe issues, challenges, no problem. We can always engage and ensure the stage is not left blank. That gives a sense of incompleteness or something is not on track to the members, and more so if you have guests, because these are the impressions they take away and decide whether to join or to not. So these are quite critical aspects which I strongly encourage each role player to ensure. Today we are fortunate we didn't have any guest non-Toastmasters. So but having said that, that doesn't take away the strong, big round of applause for the first time the stage presence, the stage confidence, and the cerebral quality of the whole thing. Well, nicely done. Now, what happens next? We have a meet of the day, but before that, we had a word master, Toastmaster Kiran, who gave us a beautiful word, acumen. Could be used in our daily conversations in a very effortlessly way, but at the same time, it really takes our conversation into a beautiful segment. Acumen, love the way it was used even by round robin speakers, wonderfully constructive, and also the details you gave of the word. So, nicely done, word master, Toastmaster Kiran. Also, your report, you summed it up, gave us how many times this was used, and so nicely done on the rules. Then we have two efficient speeches. And today the speeches were equally filled with cerebral content. We had Toastmaster Sayali. Again, it felt as if it was a contest speech. We really have seen that top-notch performance. So Toastmaster Sayali, well done out there. Yeah. And then Toastmaster Priyanka with the second speech for, Toastmaster Priyanka there, level 4, project 1, again, top-notch performance. We had all the boxes ticked for it. Project purpose. Since both of you have been efficiently evaluated by your speakers, I wouldn't go much into the details, but a strong round of applause for both our speakers. Then I will compare the evaluators. I will evaluate the evaluators as well. Since we are on speeches, we have two champion evaluators, beginning with distinguished Toastmaster Anjan. We have distinguished Toastmaster Anjan coming over here, ticking the right boxes. She started with whether the project objective has been met or not. So this is a very useful piece of information to impart to speech. She then went on to state the positives and more importantly the suggestions and actions. We could have gone from 50 to 50. This actually anchors the suggestions into the speaker's mind. So well done out there, and I love how you summarized it. Nicely done, distinguished Toastmaster Anju. What about our second evaluator, Toastmaster Dr. Ritu? In the same format, taking all the boxes, starting with whether the objective has been met or not, listing out all the positives, also the useful suggestion, which I also personally felt probably it would have been toned down, not diluted, but toned down, so that all members or all the audience could be equally connected. And yes, the rightful suggestion about the presentations, but then again, I would not like to take a call on that because that depends on the project speeches. Some speech does necessitate some certain slides. Unlike TED speakers, where they have the advantage of seeing the slides in front, we do not have it. So if there is too much of slides, we will just point it out in general. And if it is not, maybe we should just proceed with our speech so that the focus is again back to the speaker. So she summarized it also towards the end for the benefit of the speaker. So well done, Dr. Toastmaster with it. Thank you. And then of course we have the wonderful session, table topics, last minute change probably.
Yeah.
Yes. Toastmaster Rajeshwari stepping in as the table topic master today to give us 5 nice topics. In fact, highlight of this session was the table topics were equally and wonderfully evaluated even before the general evaluator, so that saves me the effort of doing that. So thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Hariharan, for helping me with the table topic session. We had 5 charming speakers, wonderfully evaluated, so I will not go into the details, but again, thank you for your valuable insights into how the table topic could be addressed. And then the cream of today's session, icing on the cake, we had distinguished Toastmaster Hariharan actually adding value, not even a single slide, but that displayed the power of attention a good speaker can command. If it's actually adding value and if you have meat in your presentation. We had a wonderful session. In fact, personally, beneficial for me as well. I could learn a thing or two in how systematically we address this session of addressing topics to trophy. This was very meaningful, especially if you are planning to participate in the contest. It's all the boxes, all the points were hit, and it gives you a lot of preparation, a lot of points to prepare for your contest speeches. So thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Hariharan, for that valuable education session. Nice. Finally, we come to all the reports. We had the R counter and the grammarian. We had Toastmaster Subhanya coming up, doing it in an innovative way, adding flair and value, and also keeping us equally engaged. Especially love the tone of her voice. She has a very natural, positive, comfortable tone, which actually connects to everyone. So nicely done. Also the style, very good. And then finally, again, we have the shoot master, Toastmaster Aryan, who hopefully has collected a lot of good snaps, and read master, distinguished Toastmaster Anju, again entertaining us with that Halloween activity. This was again nice touch and also nicely done with that deft photograph, hopefully good photographs of all the toast in the hall. So thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. She's not here for the opportunity to be here. It was a nice session, and I think we are 20 minutes behind time. So this probably, if it could be managed along with certain small aspects, beginning with me, who I can see it's already on the red. A big round of applause to each one of you, and to Dr. Ravi for coming third for this recently concluded tall tale contest, and all the participants for your future contest. That brings us to an end. Like I said, a wonderful session, a certain cerebral quality compared to the usual verbal quality in Toastmaster session, and the lovely ambience of this place ties it up altogether. A special thanks to distinguished Toastmaster Anju, whom I could see actually hand-holding all new members, because that is how a true, genuine mentor takes care of the members. So thank you, madam, and thank you, President Toastmaster Nimisha. With that, I hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Santosh.